Hey Internet, sorry to bother you, but I wanted to share with you this place that I like to come every now and again. It's right off the Lacamas Lake in Camas, Washington, and right on the other side of that dam that you see is a lake, and they slowly let the water through like you would expect because it's a dam. But then it sort of comes down and has kind of eroded its way through some rock, and I'm not sure how much of this erosion was here or they built the dam and how much of it was since, but it's interesting. Over here where there's no water where I'm standing, there's all sorts of weird little holes in the ground, and I don't know, this doesn't seem to be lava, this is like mud. I know up near St. Helens there's frequently what they call tree wells, where there was a tree and then the lava flowed around it and then the tree rotted away and died and left the hole. But these, it seems to be some sort of mud, but as far as I know the water never really gets up to this level, or at least not very frequently. So at some point the water must have been up here, but I don't know what the deal with the almost perfectly round holes is. Ooh, thought got wet there. Okay, so here we are a little further downstream. I hiked probably 5 or 6 minutes since the last video. And as you can see, the water just slowly kind of comes over, and then there's a nice little waterfall that I can't really get too much closer to right now. But as you see over here, there's more of those weird eroded pits, and I would really like to know what the deal with those is. Anyway, catch you later. Okay, I'm still at Lacamas Lake, and I'm sort of hiking around the trail that goes around the lake, and it's not terribly far. It's probably like maybe a half-hour walk if you were really trying to get around it in a reasonable amount of time. But anyway, I saw something I wanted to show you. This one isn't actually marked, but it's what they call a bat box. And what it is it's a little habitat for bats to chill out in. And I don't know if it's just because there's not really a whole lot of places for them to hide, or I really don't know what the problem is. It seems like bats have been around a lot longer than bat boxes have, but anyway, you see these a lot in the Pacific Northwest. So continuing my What You'll See in the Pacific Northwest series, this is a pretty good indication when you're hiking around that you're in the Pacific Northwest. You've got kind of a steep hill, lots of trees covered in moss, lots of trees that have either died and fallen down or fallen down due to extreme windstorms, but also great giant heaps of volcanic rock covered with moss and mud and lichens and Bigfoot droppings and all sorts of other Pacific Northwest centric things. As you can hear, I'm a little bit winded because I'm climbing over great giant volcanic rocks, but also because I've taken my doctor's advice and have been getting exercise, and I'm really out of shape. Oh, there's some other hikers, so I better shut up so they don't think I'm talking to myself. Seen any Sasquatch today?
Two. Just a couple, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Two. Yeah, it's a light day.
All right.
But they ran away pretty quickly when they saw us, so good. Don't need to be afraid.
All right, thanks. So another good way to tell you might be in the Pacific Northwest is if you see poison oak. And you can tell it's poison oak by grabbing a hold of it and rubbing it, and it should have like a waxy texture. And if it has that waxy texture, that means it's poison oak. Remember what I said about Sasquatch droppings? Here's some nice, good examples of it. You can see it's littered all over. There's one thing you can say about Sasquatch, is they can crap a lot. Here's a little plaque or sign diagramming the trails and whatnot around Lacamas Lake. And they have a big warning about a $250 fine for any violations of park ordinances, which include a litany of things. But some helpful Northwesterners have put in punctuation and missing words to make it make more sense. So here we go. $250 fine for any violations of littering and alcohol possession, comma, disorderly conduct with firearms, comma, vandalism while horseback riding, comma, fires or camping in traffic, comma, ATV, ORV, over unleashed, ATV, ORV, over unleashed animals, comma, fag cruising and squirreling, park hour 7 a.m. to dusk. See, if there's one thing to be said about people from the Pacific Northwest, they're clever. You notice how I caught on to that last bit rather quickly.